Red Lobster is one of my favorite restaurants, but most have closed down where I live. So today, I'm making a copycat platter of my favorite things to eat from there: Cheddar Bay Biscuits, Flounder, Bay Scallops, and a Strawberry Daiquiri. Most of Red Lobster's meals came with two sides. I always chose a baked potato with butter and sour cream for one of them. Now I haven't had the best luck with russets from the grocery store lately, so I did surgery on this one and cut away any soft or weird-looking spots. Then I washed it and wrapped it in foil before baking it. My second side was always a vegetable, usually steamed broccoli, but that changed to the roasted Brussels sprouts when they were added to the menu. After I cut these up, I put them aside to roast later on. Next, I made the Cheddar Bay Biscuits. I found a recipe and scaled it down from 12 biscuits to 3. 2/3 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, some garlic powder, and 1/3 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I mixed all of the dry ingredients together, then added 1/4 cup of buttermilk and 1 1/2 teaspoon of melted butter. I worked in the wet ingredients partly with the rubber spatula, and then I switched to my hands. These are drop biscuits, so I didn't need to fold the dough or use a biscuit cutter. I just needed to break it up into 3 equal pieces and place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. These baked for 10 minutes, and here's how they turned out. I put them into this basket for the time being. Now it was time to prepare the seafood. I washed the scallops and the flounder very thoroughly. Seriously, I let these run under water for a good 5 minutes. Then I pat each one as dry as I could get it, which took some work for the scallops. They kept sticking to the paper towel. I put each one on a baking sheet, no parchment paper this time. Then brushed them with lemon butter to get rid of the fishy taste, and sprinkled on some garlic powder, some paprika, and some salt. I wanted these to be the last thing to cook, so I put them in the fridge for now. Back to the Brussels sprouts. I roasted them in a carbon steel pan to make it as fast as possible. I drizzled them with some avocado oil, then added some salt, black pepper, and, hear me out, some nutmeg. I roasted these for 12 minutes, and here's how they turned out. Now I was ready to broil the seafood. I put the broiler on and set a timer for 7 minutes. Now this was too tricky to film, so I used that time to make the Strawberry Daiquiri. Red Lobster had the best strawberry daiquiris, and that's a hill I'm willing to die on. Before I was old enough to drink, I'd get the no-alcohol version. Daiquiri mix is pretty easy to make. Some ice, some strawberries. I used the sweetened kind so that I wouldn't need to make simple syrup. And some lime juice. Blend that up, pour it in a glass, and then stir in some white rum. I finished this just before the seafood was done, which turned out like this. Time to plate: the baked potato, the flounder, and the scallops, some Brussels sprouts, and one of the Cheddar Bay biscuits. I brushed the biscuit with some melted chive butter, put some lemon chive butter in a sauce tin, then added some butter, sour cream, and chives to the baked potato. I set my table and sat down to eat. I was happy with how this turned out. The flounder still had a slight fishy taste to it, but not too bad. I probably should have soaked the fillets in lemon juice after washing them, but I'll remember that for next time. The biscuit was excellent. It tasted exactly like Red Lobster's. I started to reminisce while I ate. It's kind of sad when a restaurant you've gone to for so many years closes down. That's a lot of memories and good feelings. There are still some open in other cities, so I hope things work out for them and that they eventually return to my city. Do you have a favorite restaurant that closed down in your area? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Until next time.